Now we've got the Democratic nominee for the U.S. Senate in Missouri running against Josh Hawley, Lucas Kunce. Lucas, thanks so much for taking the time.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Brian. I love being on here.
Well, thanks. Lucas, you are running against the least popular incumbent running this entire cycle. So first off, congrats on winning the primary, so it's official. And yet now, Hawley seems to be doing what he does best, which is running away. You've agreed to 5 debates with him. Hawley refuses to do any. What's the guy so afraid of?
I think he's scared of his own tail, man. I mean, here's the deal. He's scared of his record, right? And so for the background on that, we said we'd do 5 debates. We wanted to do 5 debates. We've agreed to 5 debates. We even proposed one on Fox News so the guy could feel comfortable, right? We said we'll do it on national Fox News, prime time. Fox News expressed interest. They found a potential host and, crickets from the Hawley team. And so, what it really is the guy doesn't want to answer questions about things like why he refuses to protect in vitro fertilization, why he refuses to protect contraception, why he's one of the few co-sponsors of a nationwide abortion ban, why he doesn't bring any money back to the state, why he robbed Missouri taxpayers of $250,000. I mean, the list of things the guy would actually have to answer for is really long. And so he's instead tried to just do fake attack ads against me on TV. He just put $1 million up on TV against us, and he's going to try to lean on those instead, I guess.
What's especially weird is that 6 years ago, Hawley tweeted, "I have again accepted an invitation to debate Claire McCaskill. This makes 7, and Claire McCaskill is again dodging. Senator, you've got to earn this." So tell me, Lucas, is it not necessary to earn it anymore in Missouri?
Well, I think what happened is, on January 6th, the man must have really embraced and found his inner coward, and he just can't seem to let go of it, right? And so here we're just seeing that again. And obviously, I think he should earn it. I think he should come out. I mean, the 2 basic jobs of a U.S. senator, like before any legislation or anything else, is 1, to bring money back to your state, identify projects and bring money back. Another thing you wouldn't want to answer to because he's brought $0 back in earmarks to our state, like pretty crazy. And the second one is to meet your constituents and the people you're supposed to represent. I guess he just prefers the lobbyists out there in D.C.
Well, if you have one simple message to Josh Hawley in light of all of this that, say, viewers might be able to clip and post online and tag Josh Hawley in, what would you say?
Yeah, dude, man up. Let's let the voters know about ourselves. If you're not, if you're proud of your record and you think you should be a U.S. Senator, stand up on it. I'm happy to get out there and put my contrast against you any day, including on Fox News, man.
Hawley's promised to launch what he calls a Christian nationalist crusade in 2025 if Republicans are in power. Talk about what's at stake if he's successful.
So this is a control power narrative in reality, really, for a lot of us. I mean, the man wants to control us in the bedroom. He wants to control us in the doctor's office. He wants to control us in the workplace. And he's shown us what Christian nationalism means for him. It's in 2013, he wrote an article where he compared in vitro fertilization and contraception to abortion. He wants to take those away, no protections for them. He worked on the Hobby Lobby case to make sure that your insurance provider wouldn't have to cover contraception for you. Like, that's literally because of him, and he wants to take it all the way in 2000, if he gets another 6 years in 2024. It's going to be even crazier to you. I can't believe we're talking about this, but he wants to end no-fault divorces so that people are stuck in dangerous marriages. Like, it's really a situation where he just wants to take away everybody's rights and everybody's power so he can collect it all for himself. And probably wants to be president or something like that. I don't know. I can't imagine people would pick him for that, but it's really scary to think here in Missouri, we have a U.S. senator whose entire ideology is around taking away our control, taking away our power, and deciding how we get to live.
Well, talk about that, because you look at Missouri and a lot of people think red state, right? But talk about the difference, the dichotomy between the control agenda that Josh Hawley is embracing right now and conservatism as it exists in the state of Missouri.
Yeah, I'm glad you asked. I mean, this is a freedom-loving state, and we want out of government is for it to invest in us so that we can make our own decisions and, take care of one another. And the example I'd like to give of that is, my parents got married young. They were 19 and 22. They had 4 kids. They were like Catholic and following the rules and all that. And when my littlest sister was born, the 4th one of us, she had to have a heart surgery immediately. And, my parents were in a working class paycheck to paycheck situation. We went bankrupt from that. And we made it not because of country club politicians like Josh Hawley, but because the people in that neighborhood who really had no more money than we did, still had the resources to take care of us. They passed the plate around in my mom's prayer group for us. They brought more food by the house than we could eat. They took me and my siblings into their homes while my parents were at my sister's surgeries for weeks on end. And like, that's the strength we have in our communities when they're invested in. And Josh Hawley refuses to invest in us. In fact, as our attorney general, he led a lawsuit that took overtime pay away from 200,000 Missourians, the money we used to take care of each other. He guided the division that kept us safe from the big corporations who funded his campaigns and things like that. And so it's just, Missourians have seen that and they want to take power back. And so what you've seen is, in fact, ballot initiatives over the last couple of years doing that. Josh Hawley was a big supporter of right to work, the anti-union legislation. On ballot initiative, we overturned that 68% to 32%. We expanded Medicaid over the state legislature. We increased the minimum wage, $5 over the federal level. People are always surprised to hear that out in Missouri, we increased that on our own on ballot initiative, $5 over the federal level. And we made it legal so we could smoke weed on our backyards without getting harassed, right? Like, we've done all those things on ballot initiative. And really exciting for us this fall is there's an initiative petition, a constitutional amendment on the same ballot as me to enshrine the right to basically codify Roe versus Wade and enshrine the right to women's reproductive rights in our Constitution. We're going to take power back there, and we're going to do it right here in my election, too.
And by the way, it's worth noting that a lot of those things are despite the opposition by the Republicans themselves. Lucas, to that point, we've seen this election cycle that Democrats are taking back a lot of the themes that Republicans have been co-opting for years and years. And to that point, I want to play an absolutely kick-ass ad that you released with your campaign just recently.
I'm Lucas Kunce. Growing up, my sister was born with a heart condition and my parents went bankrupt. We got by with the help of neighbors and church friends. Their support and a Pell Grant got me through school, and I became a Marine to serve and protect everyone who took care of me. I trained with Border Patrol on our southern border, led a police training team in Iraq, oversaw Afghan police, and prosecuted violent criminals and drug dealers. But then I saw bought-off politicians and their corporate donors waging war here at home, deciding how we get to live, getting rich, stripping towns like mine for parts. No one protected Missouri from them. I'm Lieutenant Colonel Lucas Kunce, and that's my mission now. Put me in the Senate and we'll break the grip of corporate power, outlaw stock trading by judges and politicians, rebuild and invest in Missouri, and protect our freedoms. The freedom to live our lives, to control our bodies, to raise and protect our families. I'm Lucas Kunce, and I approve this message.
Lucas, that guy doesn't exactly seem like the radical left-wing communist that Republicans try to caricature Democrats as being. What's the message that you're trying to send to Missourians amid the deluge of disinformation out there?
It really is. Like, I'm one of you. I'm an everyday Missourian. I grew up in a situation where my parents went bankrupt for medical bills. I know what that's like. I got to go to college because people in town gave me scholarships, and I got a Pell Grant, which, funny enough, Thomas Eagleton, our former senator here in Missouri, worked with Pell to create. That's the type of investment we can actually get from U.S. senators who care and understand everyday people. And so I want to remind all of them that I've spent my entire life trying to pay that back. I became a Marine to serve and protect everyone. I deployed to Iraq. I deployed to Afghanistan twice. Like, I did my job outside the wire. I did what I thought was necessary to pay everybody back. And while I was overseas, country club politicians like Josh Hawley literally waged war on the neighborhood that I grew up in. And it's falling apart because guys like him don't care about us. They only care about their own power. They refuse to bring money back, and they really, really do attack our freedoms. He claims to be a freedom-loving person, but he wants to take away everybody's freedom, everybody's choice, and everybody's opportunity. And finally, people are starting to realize that that's the case, and this fall we're going to take that power back.
I know a lot of people are watching and listening and thinking, Missouri, we've got to defend seats in Ohio and Montana. How can we focus on Missouri? What's your response to them?
Josh Hawley only won with 51% of the vote last time. Very close race. And that was back when he was just, our former U.S. Senator Jack Danforth, very respected moderate Republican here. He was his golden boy. Jack Danforth propped him up, created him as an entity. And Jack Danforth has since said that Josh Hawley is the worst mistake he's ever made and that he doesn't want him to win this election. Josh Hawley has lost his base. He's a weirdo and a creep now. People see that he's just after them. He wants to decide how we get to live, which is why, as you mentioned earlier, he's the least popular U.S. senator up for re-election this year. And it's just a super exciting opportunity here because we have my race to take that back. We're going to get great turnout from the initiative petition to enshrine the right to codify Roe versus Wade. We also have a minimum wage and paid sick leave amendment on the ballot. Missourians are so hungry to take their power back, and they're actually going to do it this election. And the other thing I would say is this is a state where people will cross over the aisle to vote. And so the best example I can give is the last time we had a U.S. Senate race with a presidential race here was in 2016, when Jason Kander, another veteran like me, he's an Army guy, was on the ballot. And, he was running against a long-term popular incumbent named Roy Blunt, who was more popular than Josh Hawley is, had way more money than Josh Hawley has, better connections. And, despite the fact that Trump won that year by 19 points, Jason only lost by 2.5. Trump's not going to win by 19 points in this state anymore. Like, we have the wind behind our back. It's looking really good. And, we get the Jason Kander voters, we're going to win this thing.
How can we help your campaign?
Well, please help spread the word. If you got friends and family in Missouri, please send them this clip. Let them know that you saw us on here. It helps spread the word. We're at Lucas Kunce MO on Twitter, Lucas Kunce MO on Instagram, on Facebook as well. And of course, if you can donate, it's lucaskunce.com. He just did $1 million ad. It's all negative because he's scared. He's not talking about himself. He's going after me. It's actually ludicrous. He's saying that I want to outlaw everybody's pickup trucks and steal their keys, which is just like absolutely crazy. But he's got nothing to go at us on, so that's what he decided to do, is just make stuff up. I mean, that's what these guys do. We're here in Missouri, the front line in the fight for democracy, and we need your help. Up until 2017, 5 out of our 6 statewide elected offices were Democrat held. So it's like people have already voted for Democrats before. They just need to be reminded how bad Josh Hawley is and hear my background. If you can help us get that out there, we're going to win this thing.
Right. They just need the right candidate, and that's exactly what you are. For people watching and listening right now, Lucas is the real deal. We would be absolutely, it would be best case scenario to have somebody like him in office. So again, for folks watching, please, if you can, donate, help his campaign out, and spread the word. Lucas, thank you so much for taking the time.
No, thanks for having me, Brian.